Tony D and Little Joan and my guest dog are somewhere in the background. They don't want to do any videos with me. I fed them, I walked them, I do all these things, and the dog's just like, screw you and your videos. Anyhow, this movie's called Something in the Dirt, and it's a little confusing. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's what? It's the Pineys, books 1 through 9, available on Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Working on book 10, got the cover. So tonight is the night. Hopefully I get it all uploaded by the end of the week. Should be able to order some stuff, and I'll be promoting the hell out of it. You can expect. All right, Something in the Dirt. I'm going to read this. I was looking for this, and I went to the IMDb, Wikipedia, and all these places to look for the synopsis, and here it is right here. Anyhow, I think my first impressions on watching the trailer, it's about two guys who are doing, it looks like they're doing a documentary film in the 90s because of the technology they have. You know, they're still using videotape. The minds behind The Endless, Spring, Synchronic, Moon Knight, and Loki Season 2. Doesn't bode well. But then again, I mean, when you look at SNL and you look at the funny people who are on the show and then they weren't funny on the show, but then they get off the show and then they're hilarious, it could be the same thing. But basically, the duo start exploring the supernatural and somehow they tie it into where they live. They find these apparently ancient artifacts in a skull, but I'm not quite sure how they bridge the gap there. So, they find other items as well. I'm not sure where they find them. I assume in their apartment or around it. And then I read on Wikipedia it was filmed, or no, it was on IMDb. I don't remember, but one of the places I read. It's a low-budget film, filmed with a crew of 12 in and around the producer's apartment. Good idea. I like it. I like it for that. That's something that should be promoted, I think, too, because I think it gives you a different, there's the skull, I think it gives you a different perspective when you realize, oh, they did this all in a very low budget, you know? Otherwise, you're just putting it up against everything. But when you put it in that context, that's kind of interesting. At least to me it is. The fact that these guys had no money and shot it around an apartment building, I mean, that puts it in a different context. I'm not expecting a motorcycle stunt then. You know? You don't want to go into this movie expecting too much, I think. But let's read the synopsis they have here on YouTube. Levy has snagged a no-lease apartment sight unseen in the Hollywood Hills to crash while he ties up loose ends for his exodus from Los Angeles. He quickly strikes up a rapport with a new neighbor, John, swapping stories like old friends under the glowing, smoke-filled skies of the city. Soon after meeting, Levi and John witness something impossible in one of the apartments. They're terrified at first. They soon realize this could change their lives and give them a purpose. With dollar signs in their eyes, these two eccentric strangers will attempt to prove the supernatural. Okay, it's a little clearer. DIY Wonder Kids Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson make their Sundance Film Festival debut, serving as co-directors, co-stars, co-editors, writer, and cinematographer. Benson's the writer, Moorhead's the cinematographer. This twisted sci-fi take. Their oddball chemistry shines on the screen in their script as these two isolated and unfulfilled individuals spur each other towards wormholes and away from reality. Something in the Dirt tells the tale of these paranoid times where every answer imaginable is just a Google search away. I don't know. Somewhat intriguing, if they can pull it off. It seems awfully ambitious. And I don't know, man. With the creds they trot out at the beginning of this, I mean, oh, we wrote Loki. It's not a credit. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to see more stuff from the guys who wrote Loki. Oh, forgot to turn the sound off. Loki season 2. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's a credit I'd brag about. I mean, I think if I was going to put a credit like that on the screen, I would frame it differently. From the minds behind The Endless Spring, Synchronic, and some of the MCU TV shows, TV series. Maybe keep it vague. Although, really, which one of the TV shows? I mean, I guess Moon Knight was okay. I hear it's fairly watchable. Loki, though? No, the nerds don't seem to like that one at all. So I don't know if I'd brag about that. But I do like the kind of, I don't know, the rawness of this. I do like that they shot it in and around an apartment. But writing is key. And these credits don't scream, oh yeah, these guys can write. Really doesn't. Something in this, though, still makes me want to see it. Maybe it's because of the crazy look, the old tech. None of this, the best movie of the year stuff ever makes me want to see a movie. Because they all say that. Benson and Moorhead have crafted yet another masterpiece. Where's the first masterpiece? Loki? Is Loki considered a masterpiece? I mean, I don't think you need to do it. A darkly funny sci-fi gem? Maybe. Maybe that'll make me go say it. I mean, and I like the look of this guy. I like that they're in it. So, it is possible that working at the MCU was a stepping stone for their career to do something real. And it's also possible they're very talented, but they just don't allow their ideas through in the MCU. It's very possible. That is a situation I have heard many, many times. There was a guy on SNL who I knew through a friend. He wasn't really my friend, but he was my friend's friend. Fairly famous guy. You'd probably know him if I said his name. And he wrote a sketch on SNL, which, if I told you just the title of it, you'd laugh. And he's very funny. And they did the sketch, and it was pretty good, the SNL sketch that aired. But he complained that they ruined the sketch, that it was much funnier in the draft, and it did sound funnier in, the bits they cut. But it got rewritten by the older staff members and whatever. This could be a similar situation. You could have a bunch of very talented people being micromanaged to death. With the woke idiots running around these studios, I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't be a shocker to realize that there are a lot of talented people, but they just can't get their ideas on the screen because these woke morons go, no, there's not enough women of color in this. You have to mention intersectional feminism, please. And they want to keep their paychecks, so they do, and it ruins the bit, but they just go, what can we do? We're not in charge. That's the reality of working for a studio. You're not in charge. The people in charge of the studio are in charge. If they come in and say you're all fired, well, you're fired. If they come in and say you guys are going to win a bunch of awards that we just bought, and you're going to go in front of the cameras and say how brave and stunning you are, and then we're going to give you millions of dollars. What do you get? You could say no. You can. You can turn down millions of dollars if you want. As Bobcat Goldthwait said quite famously why he kept doing the Police Academy movies, and he said, what are you going to say when they drive the truckload of money to your house? No. But I don't know that. So that being said, these guys are also taking their shot. They may be looking to jump ship on the sinking MCU to jumpstart their own careers, and they may be just as ruthless as the people running the studio. That does happen, and they may say anything. And there may be some money behind this, and that's why they're getting such great press. Maybe they did win awards, genuinely speaking. Maybe they didn't. Judging from what I'm seeing here, I like this. but I am still moderately suspicious. It looks indie, but these guys have such big creds. Is it the case of a couple of pretty connected guys making something that looks very indie? That's what I'm worried about. Because the one thing that's missing out of this is I'm not getting why this is all happening. Like, they're not telling me that extra bit of information about, I mean, it's something to do with wormholes and dimensions. Maybe that can work. Or maybe it looks like a student film when you watch this thing. I don't know. It kind of could go either way. But that all being said, I still kind of want to see it. So, got to give him some cred there. I mean, I'm a bit of a movie head, so it may appeal more to my I've seen everything in movies sensibilities than the average viewer, right? The average viewer may look at this and like, oh, this kind of looks like crap. But to me, I like the raw energy of it and the old school tech and all that kind of stuff. So that has an appeal to me. So I'm very biased towards it, I think, and its look. The average viewer might just look at this and it just looks like a jumble of nonsense. And to some extent it kind of is. It's more thematic than it is telling me a plot. I had to go look it up. I had to read this synopsis. Never would have figured it out otherwise. Other than they were discovering some ancient ruins and that the city was somehow based on. So, intriguing. Intriguing. Would I go to the movies to see this? I probably would. Yeah, this is my kind of movie to go see in the movies. It looks different. Looks like they're trying something here. Now, I'd be furious if it turns out it's terrible. I'd be, like, infuriated. And I'd be mad at myself for not seeing those credits and going, oh, man, it's the guys who wrote Loki and Moon Knight. I went to go see their movie. How stupid am I? So, I don't know. I don't know. This is, if this movie is good, as I kind of want it to be, then it may be the very case, and that I said, like, they're very talented, but in the MCU, your talent can't shine through because it's so micromanaged. It doesn't take much, and this is the weird thing. It doesn't come off as a comedy in the trailer, but it's supposed to be a dark sci-fi comedy. It doesn't feel like a comedy. I didn't laugh. So that's another thing against it. So how does this play out? I don't know. It's not a lot of info here. First act, I think. See, they discover this thing. It's like the plans of the city or something. So the first act, and this is based on the synopsis. I couldn't figure this out from the trailer. Levi moves into this no-lease apartment, sight unseen, and he's getting ready to leave Los Angeles. He meets this neighbor, John. They kind of bond for whatever reason. And then weird stuff starts happening. They decide to document it. Something like to do with a door and a wormhole into another universe. So they start exploring it. They see an opportunity to make money. They start chronicling it using video cameras. I'm not sure how they would make money, but okay, maybe. And then the second act, things get weirder and weirder and more dangerous until they're either killed and they realize as they're dying that the skulls left behind are actually them. Something like that. That's the kind of movie it feels like kind of a Repo Man weirdo ending where it all like comes full circle and it's like, oh man, bizarre. Or they disappear from the apartment or reappear in the apartment, which they think is the apartment they left, but it turns out they're stuck in an alternate universe. I don't know. Kind of could go a lot of ways. But I do like the intriguing nature of the wormholes and other dimensions, that kind of thing. So I want to see it. I do want to see it. But I kind of don't want to pay for it. I kind of like would love to be able to see it, and if it was good, then decide it. Okay, yeah, that was good. I'll pay for it. I mean, imagine a movie system like that. Imagine a platform in which you watch the movie and then you decide whether or not it's any good. Or maybe you watch, I don't know, like the first hour of it, and then you decide, did you like this movie enough? Pay $5 and you can see the rest of it. That could be workable. Or maybe you see the first 10 minutes of it and you decide, well, do you want to see the rest of the movie? Just a thought. Yeah, I kind of want to see this. It's called Something in the Dirt. Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson. I'd be very interested to know if any of you have seen it and if it's any good. Because I really, really don't want to go into this blind and pay for it and feel like I got screwed. Feel like I went to go see a short film that could have taken place in the Loki universe, because that show looks like total garbage to me. But they don't have that kind of budget, and it is them. They're in the show. They are the two main characters, so they got a lot invested in it. And I'll tell you, if this movie isn't any good, these two ought to hang it up. I mean, they ought to just quit. I mean, if you can't together make a two-man movie that you love, that has something in it that most people would watch and go, wow, there was really something to that, man, you ought to just hang it up. I mean, if you make that movie bad, that's like, man, you don't know what you're doing. But I gotta say, it looks intriguing to me. So it kind of almost looks like a documentary too. Looks like it was shot on video, but I don't think it was. Probably high-end video. So interesting. Something in the Dirt. When does it come out? I don't know. Do we have a release date? I don't think we do. Oh, wait, I think we do. Hold on. Let's get down here. No, yep, there it is. November. Exclusive in theaters. Now, this feels very much like an art house film. So the 4th of November. And on demand everywhere. The 22nd. 22nd. Yeah, this feels like a movie I'd go see. Like right before Thanksgiving. Yeah, let's all go to the movies. It's a Tuesday? Why the hell are you opening a movie on a Tuesday? That's weird. Art house movie. That's the I answer my own question. It's on demand on the 22nd. The 4th, that's got to be a Friday, right? Yeah, the 4th. So, yeah. All right. That's it for me. Tony D, Little Joan, and my guest dog, who won't get on camera. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more bass takes. We'll see you in the next one.